Hey, 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 what do you say? Welcome to my channel, Sonia Living My Best Life, and I am Sonia. As you guys can see, I am in Malcolm, heading down to my baby's house. Gonna spend the weekend down there with them, and I'm excited to go to our family reunion on Saturday. I'm so excited to see so many loved ones that I just don't get to see, and it's unfortunate that I don't attempt to make more time to be able to see my family. I need to work on that. I need to do better with that, especially with my aunts and uncles that are left. They're getting older, so I definitely need to go and start spending more time with them. I need to go and start talking to them about them growing up, their childhood, about my dad. I need to start doing that stuff and get some of those details down, because I really don't have a clue. And I was 21 when my dad passed away, and never would have thought, that he was going to leave us that early. So, and he was 58 when he passed. And so I didn't ask all those questions, but I need to do that. I don't have any aunts and uncles left on my mom's side, so they're all gone. And I have a few left on my dad's side. So I definitely want to start spending more time with them and talking to them, and just hoping that they would share stories and stuff from growing up in childhood and with my grandparents and whatnot. I would love to get that stuff recorded, actually, and then I can get it transcribed. But I'm definitely going to have to work on that, because I think that would be awesome to do. So I'm excited to do that. I definitely need to get back in the swing of things. I'm slowly getting better. Like I said about the depression and whatnot, all of the other symptoms are gone except for the lack of motivation. And so I'm working on that, and I am making sure that I do one productive thing a day, at least one. And I've been doing that pretty consistently for the last 2 weeks or so. So I'm going to increase it to 2 things a day, 2 productive things a day, to try to get myself back into the swing of things. Yesterday, the productive thing that I did yesterday was my laundry. I washed and dried and folded and hung my laundry yesterday. That was one productive thing, and I'm happy that I got that done. The day before yesterday, let me see, my one productive thing was to clean out and change Emerald's habitat, his home. Emerald is my sulcata tortoise, and he is 2 years old. No, 3. He's 3 years old, and he weighs about 5 to 6 pounds now. And so his habitat is outside on the patio, so I had to take out all of his cocoa core and throw all that stuff in the trash, and then replace it with the new cocoa core, which that stuff is expensive. The little bitty container that I bought, it was shrink wrapped and really tight and condensed, but I believe that was like $40, and it has a 3-foot by 6-foot habitat, and that one container of coco coir was not enough to fill his whole thing, so it only did one side, and that's it. He gonna deal with that one side. On that other side, I'm gonna throw in some hay, because I'm not getting ready to pay another $40. But with the coco coir and the fact that we're in a heat wave right now, I have to have ways to keep him cool out there. And so when I put the coco coir in, I soaked it in water so it absorbed a lot of water. And I had my granddaughter just pick it up and dump it, the whole thing in there with the little bit of water that was left in there. And yeah, that was a mistake. It did dry up. It took forever, and it did dry up, and every hour I was going out there stirring it up to ensure that it had a chance to dry out. I didn't want it to mold or anything, because then Emerald can get sick, and I'm not trying to spend no money on no vet bills. Shelton, my miniature schnauzer that passed almost 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, is it 3? Almost 3 years ago, maybe. I don't know. 2 or 3 years ago, Shelton passed. He was my miniature schnauzer, and I got him when he was like 8 weeks old, and he almost made it to 11. So that was my road doggy, my Shelly Shell, and Stink. But he had Cushing's disease, so his liver never stopped growing. So I ended up treating him for pain management for, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, treating him with pain meds, and he was doing great. But the vet did tell me that eventually his liver was going to grow so big that it would continue to push on his ribs and cause him pain, and at that point he would need to be put down, or spend thousands of dollars on a surgery to cut some of it out, and then it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to do it again. And I don't know how much time, but I couldn't afford to do all that. I didn't want to take my baby through all that. I had him for almost 11 years, like I said, and he had lots of other medical issues as well. So in all, I probably spent about between $5,000 and $6,000 in vet bills taking care of him. So I told all the other animals, Emerald, Champ, he's my Yorkie Poo, and then Bernard, he's the American Bully. I told all of them, don't get sick, don't get hurt, because I don't have any money for the vet for you. Shelton took it all. So, but of course, I'm just talking, because if something happened to them, I will fork out the money if I could and have them fixed up. But back to Emerald. So the coco coir absorbed a lot of water. So now I know I need to drill some holes in the bottom of his habitat, so that way, because part of his habitat is out from under the awning, so when it rains, some of it is going to get in there, and I don't want it to just sit in there. So I'm going to put some holes in the bottom so that the water can drain out. And then like I said, with the excessive temperatures, I had been bringing him in when we reached 100 degrees. I would bring him in the house, but the last 2 days, because of the coco coir and being so moist, that on that side of the habitat it didn't get any hotter than 80 degrees on that side. And I have a thermometer out there, of course, so that I can monitor on my phone, and I also get alerts when the temperature rises higher than I want it to rise, so that I can call the grandkids and have them bring him in. But every day is, I'm not going to say every day is a struggle, because it's not, but it's definitely different. I'm still not the same, as I said, but I feel myself getting back there. So I'm on my way, but I do feel good. I do feel good. So I'm happy. Prayerfully, someone might have needed to hear this or see this. If you have any questions that you want to ask me about what I'm going through, and how I'm dealing with it, and everything else, you are more than welcome to comment and ask any questions that you like. I will answer them to the best of my ability. So that's it. And I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not any of that stuff. But I can share my experiences and what I've done to get to where I am so far. I definitely can share those things with you. And if you have questions about other things, I'm happy to say that my credit score is over 800. So whoop whoop, in the 800 club. So if that's something that you need to talk about, you can ask me about that as well, and I will tell you what I did to get to where I'm at. And I am not a financial advisor, so like I said, I'm just going to share with anybody that wants to know what I did and how I did it to get to that 800 credit score. And not all of my scores are at 800, but I have one, and the other two, I expect those to be at 800s within the next month or two. And I'm super excited about that 800 credit score, because boy, I've come a long way. I've repaired my credit. This is the third time repairing my credit, and I finally got it. I finally learned what to do and what not to do, and I finally understand. And I know one thing that did help me understand dealing with these credit cards is making sure that I had enough income, because the other two times when my credit took a dive, it was definitely because I had hit a financial crisis and had no money saved up, no way to help myself other than those credit cards, the couple that I had. And so, hey, I used them. I paid them to the best of my ability. Then it got to the point to where I couldn't pay them. So they went to collections, and it is what it is at this point. I've never filed bankruptcy, but all of those cards, the couple that I did have, they went to collections, and then I rebuilt. Took me about 5 years, 6 years to rebuild, 7 years to rebuild, and then I got going again good, and then financial crisis hit again. Didn't have enough funds, so same thing again. Used the credit cards to help, and then paid them to the best of my ability. And then it got to the point to where I couldn't pay them. Here we go again. So that, and then I had a few more credit cards than the first time. So that took another 5, 7, 8 years to start rebuilding that. So third and last time. And so I'm saying we. It ain't my house. He had to call the plumber and get that stuff repaired, and that was not an inexpensive repair. You know, that was almost $500. So that right there, you know, really solidified what I was telling them about having money set to the side so that in case you have an emergency, because when you own your own home, which is wonderful, I definitely will never rent again if I don't have to. But owning your own home comes with a lot of responsibility, a lot of perks, because one day you will get it paid off and it'll be yours, and then you can do what you want to do. Well, you can do that now, but you can't call anybody, oh, the pipe broke, come fix it. That don't work. Pipe broke, your pipe, you fix it. So, you know, you definitely got to think about making sure that you can keep extra money set to the side, especially when you own your home, because you never know when something wild like that will just happen. I mean, just went out there to turn it on and bam, it fell off. I'm like, what the heck? But, you know, so, alright, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this little video, this little update. I'm all over the place, and I know. And some of you guys, I know you guys can't handle me jumping all over the place, but it is what it is. That's my ADD mind, and I'm all over the place, and if you know me, then you know that this is exactly how I am. I'm just all over the place, but it is what it is. But thank you for taking the time. If you stayed on this long and listened, leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing today, and anything that I might be able to do to help you with advice. But peace, love, and blessings. Bye. See you next time. Love ya. Deuces.